Now to our major story of the day. You probably have heard about the Malabu oil deal saga. The past week, the Federal High Court in Abuja ruled that former Justice Minister and Attorney General of the Federation, Mohammed Adoke, cannot be held personally liable for his role in a $1.1 billion Malabu oil scandal. The court agreed with the submissions of the former minister that his involvement in the controversial deal, which resulted in the sale of Nigeria's oil well, was in compliance with his constitutional duties. So let's tell you some things about what you need to know about the Malabu case. The FCC reopened the case in 2017. The controversial $1.1 billion deal resolves around the OPL 245, which is believed to be one of the most valuable oil fields in West Africa, with an estimated 9 billion barrels of crude. It was controversially awarded to Malabu in 1998 by the then Petroleum Minister Danny Tete, who said to have been partly owned that company. In 2011, former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo revoked the license and gave it to Shell. That's another story reported. Well, Mr. Adoke was in court for his alleged involvement in the controversial deal, which resulted in the sale of Nigeria's oil well. So let's get a conversation started. Joining me from our Abuja studio is a rights activist, and he's also the executive director of the Citizens Advocacy for Social and Economic Rights, Mr. Frank Tietie. And our Lagos studio here is Alfred Kimapado, the National Secretary of Ijaw Youth Council. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Let's begin with the lawyer on the program tonight, Mr. Tietie. It does look like the case has just started. If you look at the judgment from Justice Nyako in Abuja last week, he did not rule out that there is no case to answer, but it's a part of that case. What exactly is your take? What are you taking away from that judgment on the Malabu oil scandal?
I think clearly that is the beginning of the end of the travails of Mohammed Bello Adoke. Firstly, the essence of a declaratory judgment, whenever the court is approached to state the position of the law as against the facts, is that when the court eventually rules, that becomes the law. So what the court has ruled now is that Mohammed Bello Adoke does not have any criminal liability whatsoever with regards to the Malabu oil deal, and that he does not have any criminal culpability. There is no link in absolute terms. There is no link between Mr. Adoke and all of those criminal charges that are purportedly made against him at the court. So the essence of the judgment delivered by Justice Binta Nyako is purely to direct the federal government, particularly the AFCC and the Attorney General of the Federation, on what to do. Not to waste the resources of this country, the prosecutorial resources, on frivolous claims or frivolous charges against someone who is not only presumed innocent, but has consistently maintained that he is innocent and has gone through so much, horrendous travails in order to prove his innocence. And ultimately, a competent court has declared in tandem with the position he has always held. I don't think we need any further ado to trouble ourselves as prosecutorial agencies, particularly EFCC, to now continue to also begin to fish for evidence where there is none. And that's the reason why we held the position and wrote to the Attorney General of the Federation that, look, this is a citizen of Nigeria. And in our country, the rights of the presumption of innocence is very important. This is what Nigerians go through all the time. It cannot happen to a personality like that of Mohammed Adoke, who is just not a very successful lawyer, but someone who has held the exalted position of the Attorney General of the Federation.
Mr. Tietie, if I may quickly come in here. Sorry, if I may butt in quickly, Mr. Tietie. If you look at the spirit, just a moment, if you look at the spirit of the judgment of Justice Nyako, it was not entirely concluded in terms of freeing Mr. Adoke in this case. It does say that he has a case to answer, and so you sort of putting out as if he does not have any case to answer. But the fact was established that he perhaps got orders, and under his watch, he perhaps brokered some way forward in that deal, isn't it?
Of course, but he acted purely out of in discharge of his constitutional duty. A man cannot be faulted on that. In fact, let me be clear on this. I'll be very unequivocal. Mr. Adoke, by that ruling, by the judgment of that court, does not have criminal culpability. So it's not a matter of conjecture here. So, you see, in improper crimes, and I believe the Attorney General of the Federation knows well,